Hedgehog, with his small bindle filled with raspberry jam, plans to watch the stars with his best friend Bear Cub, as they do every night. However, Hedgehog must first traverse through the thick white fog, which is seemingly filled with things that startle and frighten Hedgehog, as Bear Cub's voice echoes through the fog. The pressures, anxieties, uncertainties, and fears build within Hedgehog to find his best friend in time for the starry night. This is Yuri Norstein's Hedgehog in the Fog, a Soviet animated film which hosts a distinctive animation style, reminiscent of storybook pencil illustrations brought to life, sometimes utilising natural materials such as leaves and tree bark for additional visual texture to make the film's world feel alive. A haunting, gentle mixture of childlike naivety, wonderment, meshed with the expression of innocent fears, Hedgehog in the Fog feels like a bespoke fairy tale that can be shared with younger viewers, but its memorable imagery of a thick fog and a white horse provides an allegory for living under Soviet rulership, which is bound to resonate with older audiences. Yuri Norstein has garnered a dedicated following for his short films Hedgehog in the Fog, Tale of Tales, and the currently unfinished animated feature film The Overcoat, an animated film which has remained in production for over 40 years. Due to Norstein's high level of perfectionism, Norstein's impact on the landscape of animation is undeniable. Writing for Far Out magazine, Swapnil Dhruv Bose highlights one highly influential figure who Norstein has been significant inspiration, stating that, often referred to as one of the greatest animators in the history of the medium, Norstein's experiments inspired multiple generations of artists who also sought out animation as an outlet for their imaginations. In the list of his 25 favourite films of all time, Miyazaki included Norstein's seminal gem Hedgehog in the Fog. Norstein's level of perfectionism may be highly inspiring to other legendary animation powerhouses, but his reputation for working slowly has also earned him the nickname the Golden Snail, alluding to the high standard of his animation coming at the price of long periods of time, a barrier within itself, as Norstein's slower work process has been a challenge to securing financing for The Overcoat. Before discussing the Hedgehog in the Fog in detail, it is also essential to note Yuri Norstein's key collaborator, Francheska Yarbusova, Norstein's wife, the illustrator and artist behind the character designs and artwork for Norstein's animation. In a 2005 interview focusing on The Overcoat, Yuri Norstein spoke to Peter Finn, discussing the significant contributions of Francheska Yarbusova within their films, stating that, "We are tied together and we are interdependent," Norstein says, sitting in his merrily cluttered kitchen, the walls covered with photos, sketches, an icon, bric-a-brac, and shelving spilling over with videos. "I draw all compositions, but this is the dry soil which must then be filled with feeling. We have scandals and rows, but now her work is on display, and she says to me, 'It is all you, you were guiding me.'" As inseparable a collaboration as Norstein and Yarbusova are, it is important to acknowledge and respect Yarbusova's contribution here, especially within The Hedgehog in the Fog, in which the illustrations are intricately detailed, many objects sharing photorealistic textures to their real-life inspirations, and even the simpler motions are filled with life, due to Yarbusova's attention to visual detail. The Hedgehog in the Fog has an incredibly distinct animation style, as if like a painting in motion, or a sophisticated pencil sketch brought to life, due to the meticulous attention to detail with each character action and natural movement. While the film is two-dimensional, the animation presentation replicates the impression of 3D due to the detailed, lifelike animation and the layered backgrounds which creates the illusion of a fuller lived-in environment. This is achieved by Norstein via the layering of multiple glass panes that contain an element of the animation, background, foreground, characters, fog, etc., which creates a 3D-like effect from 2D elements. This is specifically a technique crafted by Lotte Reiniger via her multiplane camera, a technique utilised later by many classic Walt Disney animated films. While this technique may be deemed very traditional, as many animated films enter the realm of 3D digital animation, Norstein's adamant refusal to use computers and other digital means of animation means that classic techniques such as Reiniger's multiplane camera find renewed life within Norstein's work. While creating art within the Soviet Union, Yuri Norstein's most challenging obstacle would be censorship. Soviet animation needed to be deemed as politically appropriate, not challenging the political climate nor questioning authority. A potential method of overcoming this obstacle is the use of allegory. While Hedgehog in the Fog captures an enchanting sense of wonderment and nostalgic fear within its ethereal storybook-esque imagery, the tale of the hedgehog lost within a thick fog, troubled by potential threats and disruptions towards his goal, is certainly boasting an allegorical subtext. While Hedgehog in the Fog remains vague regarding its thematic meanings, an innocent figure entering the thick fog, the unknown, filled with unsettling creatures, unpredictable in their intent, the anxieties regarding uncertainty, only to overcome the time within the fog by reaching comfort and unity with a dear friend. The film could be reflective of the experience of an artist under Soviet rule, challenged by the uncertainties of censorship and artistic funding issues, often pressured to hurry up, only to eventually, after much struggle and enduring through the oppression of the imagination, find a sense of solace in finishing the journey of their creative endeavour. In this interpretation, Yuri Norstein isn't dissimilar to the hedgehog. His journey with animating films through cancelled financing and censorship isn't dissimilar to the pressures and anxieties that Hedgehog faces amongst the fog. If the hedgehog is to reflect Norstein's own struggles through filmmaking, then placing the subtext underneath the veneer of gentle escapist storytelling to avoid the ire of Soviet censorship becomes a resonant form of protest. However, this artistic journey, Hedgehog's own journey through the fog, isn't sealed with the comfort of resolution. As Hedgehog sits beside Bear Cub, watching the stars, his mind lingers on the single white horse he encountered amongst the fog, a mysterious figure that will not leave his mind. The horse's appearance within the fog is one of the sights of comfort Hedgehog finds along his way to his friend, but the viewer is also left to ponder, what could the white horse mean? Why is the white horse there? Its mystical nature lingers in Hedgehog's mind, but if we extend the interpretation that Hedgehog's journey is to reflect the journey of an artist during oppressive times, the white horse could be a figure of reassurance, somebody's love and support through difficult times, or an inspiring figure of calmness amidst uncertainty. In contrast, the white horse lingering within the fog could also be indicative of a gentle figure forever lost amidst uncertainty. The film has little interest in clarifying the significance of the white horse, or of Hedgehog's journey, allowing the audience's own interpretation, adding an additional layer to the already curious, sometimes mystifying and haunting tale suitable for viewers no matter their age. In conclusion, Yuri Norstein's Hedgehog in the Fog has earned its place as a highly respected jewel within the landscape of international animation, an influential piece of animation that continues to capture the imagination of audiences who may be actively seeking to broaden their knowledge of animation, or simply viewers who casually stumble upon it. The film strikes a lingering resonance with its haunting innocence in telling a short tale reminiscent of nostalgia for old storybook illustrations. While a simple story on its surface, Hedgehog in the Fog often feels reflective of the turbulent times Yuri Norstein himself faced, but its subtext could easily be extended to reflect the viewer's own personal struggles towards a form of solace, therefore making the short Soviet animated film a timeless classic for viewers across all regions. A special thank you to my incredible tier Patreon supporter Gil, and my super tier Patreon supporter Konstantin Bombelli.